What's up everyone, welcome back to Deck Tech for Decks. Today we're doing our weekly budget deck on Zaxara the Exemplary. I'd be lying if I said this deck didn't build itself, but we've got some fun tech for you guys, and I can confidently say this is one of the most fun decks I've played. You get ramp in the command zone, huge big abusable tokens, all for just doing what you want to do. Alright guys, without further ado, let's get into the X cost creatures we're playing. We are playing Hungering Hydra, Steelbane Hydra. This guy's really good because he can take out a lot of artifacts and enchantments. Vastwood Hydra, this guy's just going to make something big on his way out. Mistcutter Hydra that can't be countered is pretty useful. Additionally, it does have protection from blue, which some people forget about, and it's won me some games. Hooded Hydra, he's going to create a massive board on his way out. Also, Termagant Swarm, again another card that creates a board state on his way out. Ren's Run Hydra, this one's just really cheap and it's just a card with reach that can trigger our commander. Tyrant Guard, not only does this guy have that Ravenous ability, which I think is amazing, it's just so cool that these cards replace themselves whenever you cast them for above 5, which we are going to be doing, but additionally this guy just protects your whole board. He's a staple in any counter deck in my opinion. Feral Hydra, this is another just really efficient card to throw in the deck because it triggers our commander. Aberrant, this is more removal in the creature slot, which I love doing because just swinging face and taking people's artifacts and enchantments away is what I want to do. Turvagon, this guy can create a massive board state when he connects. Notably, this guy has trample, and if they don't stop him, he gets out of hand really quickly. Ravener, I really just tried to pick as much Ravenous cards and shove them in the deck. Additionally, the Flash isn't useless and can catch our opponents off guard. Alright guys, let's get into the core of the deck. We are running Villainous Wealth, just because it's a really fun card. You know, slap this on the Kalia player and start playing their demons, cause why not? Change of Plans. I like this card in any deck that can ramp a lot and needs to protect tokens. Because one, whenever something phases out, it doesn't leave the battlefield. It just can't be targeted or messed with. So it's going to dodge all the board wipes, which is going to be really good. Additionally, they're all going to connive. So we're going to draw a lot. We're going to have a lot of card selection. Connive is draw a card, discard a card. And then if you discard a non-land card this way, I'm pretty sure you put a 1/1 counter on a creature. Pretty useful, but mostly we're just trying to protect our board state. Next up, Swiftfoot Boots. As soon as they realize how broken your commander is, they're going to try everything to get rid of him. So this is really important. Freed from the Real. Use this on your commander and he's going to generate infinite mana. Notably, if you're not interested in infinite combos, it's really easy just to swap this out for something else. But I thought it'd be kind of cool and unassuming for, you know, the budget player to be running an infinite combo in their deck. We are also running Mana Bloom. I think this is an extremely underrated card in Zaxara. I don't see people play it enough. But essentially, this is just a free Hydra equal to the amount of lands you control every turn, which is pretty insane because boom, out of nowhere, you get a free Hydra. Additionally, it is going to fix all of your mana, so no mana issues. Wilderness Reclamation. We are running some counter spells and instant speed draw spells, so it's going to be really good to cast a big giant Hydra on our turn and then untap our lands and have it open for any interaction we need to use. Dragon Throne of Tarkir. Our tokens are kind of just big dumb Hydras. They don't have trample, they can be blocked by 1/1s, and that kind of sucks. But Dragon Throne of Tarkir will just throw this on our biggest Hydra token, and boom, all of our tokens not only get plus X, which is equal to its power, but they're also going to get trample, so now our opponent is pretty screwed. Glorious Sunrise. This is an amazing budget card because it can either ramp you, it can draw you a card, it can gain you some life, but the one we're really interested in is that +1/+1 and trample until end of turn. Because again, we're just playing big dumb Hydras. We need trample to really make them threatening. Kamal, Heart of Krosa. Again, we really just want to be making our Hydras more threatening. It's going to give them +3. They're going to be able to get through because now they have trample. And casting an 8-drop in this deck is not going to be an issue. Because if you think about it, on turn 4, let's say you don't ramp at all, which is not going to happen. You're going to ramp before turn 4. Because we have 15 ramp spells in this deck. Insane, but it's a Hydra deck. You know, you got to go all out. Anyway, if you don't ramp for the first 4 turns, you cast your commander, and on turn 4, you have access to 6 mana on turn 4 without ramping, which is pretty insane. Next up, we have Clamavis, because honestly, just doubling all of our Hydra's power is going to be pretty fun. Notably, it doesn't give trample, but hey, Corpse Jack Menace is also going to double up on those 1/1 counters. Lastly, we have Gerard, Golgari Lichlord. This card's won me more game than any of the other ones in the deck. You go ahead and sacrifice a creature and each opponent loses life equal to the sacrificed creature's power. Screw trample, right? You can go ahead and just start sacrificing these massive tokens to just, for lack of a better term, just throw a giant Hydra at everyone's face. My man Gerard is just fling on steroids, what can I say? Alright guys, let's move into those 15 ramp spells. We are running Nexos. This guy is going to make every basic land basically tap for 2 mana if you're using it to cast an X spell, which we are using it to cast X spells. Elementalist's Palette. Usually I shy away from any 3 mana cost mana rock, but hear me out. Every time we cast an X spell, we're going to put 2 charge counters on this card. And then as long as we're casting an X spell, we can tap this card to add X amount of mana to our mana pool, where X is equal to the amount of charge counters on it, which is pretty insane. Just to put it in perspective, if you cast 2 X spells, this card's already tapping for 4 mana, which I think is pretty worth it. We're then running your standard stuff like Cultivate, Kodama's Reach, and Secure Tribelder. Incubation Druid is one of those cards that I don't see often enough. This one's really good because not only can you tap it for 1 mana right out of the gate, but you can level this card up essentially and start tapping it for 3 mana. Again, let's cover some more boring stuff with Rampant Growth, Nature's Lore, Migration Path, Explosive Vegetation, you've got your Soul Ring, and then we are running all 4 Signets. I know it's kind of weird to include Signets in a green deck, but hear me out. Not including Signets in a green deck is something you're told not to do. But let's be honest, every time you have a Signet in your opener, you feel so safe, and the whole beginning of the game just plays a lot smoother because you just drew one of those cards. Alright, let's move into the card draw. We are running Tatiova Benthic Druid. Again, we're trying to play a lot of lands, so let's draw cards whenever we play those lands. Then let's draw cards with Power Matters. Greater Good. Obviously, we're making giant tokens. Greater Good is going to be amazing in the deck. Rishkar's Expertise. Not only will this draw you a bunch of cards, but you're going to be able to play a card for free afterwards. Soul's Majesty, again, just a really good Power Matters card. Hunter's Insight, whenever those giant hydras connect, go ahead and draw a lot of cards. Disciple of Bolus, this will cause you to have to sacrifice one, but who cares, we'll just make more. Now let's move into those X spells. Pull from Tomorrow, Even the Score, Stroke of Genius, Diviner's Portent, Mind Spring, Cut from the Prophets. I really like Cut from the Prophets because you're going to have all these big dumb hydras on the board to sacrifice, and why not do that to draw a shit ton of cards? Alright, let's move into the removal. One of the best cards in the deck is Retribution of the Ancients. You can just go ahead and start removing 1/1 counters from our giant hydras to just get rid of our opponent's whole board. This card's super annoying in the deck and really hard for your opponents to deal with. Plasm Capture. This one's really fun. It's basically a poor man's mana drain, right? Bane of the Living. This one's really unassuming. They're going to see you playing Zaxara and you play a morph creature, they're not going to know what the hell it is. And then out of nowhere, they have no board. Additionally, we can make it to where it only hits our opponents because our hydras are going to be really big. Alright, let's get into those X spells. Curse of the Swine. This one's really good because it does exile, which is really weird, but hey, I'm here for it. Thassa's Intervention is really good in the deck because 1, it can help you look for those trample cards you need. You know, when you get a big, huge board of hydras, you're going to be looking for a way to end out the game, and Thassa's Intervention is one of those cards that can help you find what you need. Additionally, it can counter a spell, which is really useful. Condescend, another X counter spell. And remember guys, when we're playing these, you want to pump the shit out of X. That way whenever you do, you create a massive Hydra token. So imagine we have Wilderness Reclamation on the battlefield and we counter a spell, and even though our opponent has no open mana, we just go ahead and shove 10 into it, and now we've got a 10/10 Hydra. Pretty fun, and that's why I really like playing this deck. Syncopate, Counterspell, not an X spell, but really good. Logic Knot, another X spell. Negate, not an X spell. Clash of Wills, another X spell. We're just rotating here, right? And that's going to do it for the deck tech. Ended it there on a weird note, but hey, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you are liking this, budget series, comment in the comments section. Let me know you like it. That way I'm going to keep throwing these out.